if you're in a band and you play live music, or you're working with bands and you're a solo artist playing live music, these 3 tips can help you be better today. These aren't tech tips. This isn't gear reviews. Those videos come later. These are just 3 simple things you could do and implement today to make your band or your group better. I'm David Van Dyke. This is Polyrhythm Music LLC. Let's get into it. So, I wanted to make this video because it kind of hit me that there's always these tip videos of things you can do, but if you're in a band and you're 17, 18, or even if you're in your 20s, but like you don't have a lot of money, throwing out $1 million, yes, in-ear monitors will make your performance better. But if you don't have the money, like what are some things you could do that don't require any money or a lot of time? And these things don't take a lot of time, but they will make you better. So, number 1, first thing you can do if you're in a band or performing live with other musicians is, and I'm going to look down, you guys know the drill, to put together a goals list or a mission statement. We all have seen Some Kind of Monster where Kirk Hammett's trying to explain to Lars and James or whoever in Metallica what a mission statement is, and we all feel weird about that scene because it's like, how do you not know? And then we remember Kirk Hammett's been a guitar player since he was 18 professionally, so he's never had a real job. But doing a goals list or a mission statement, something that will guide the band, and this is something that you all need to sit down and do together. And it doesn't have to be as cheesy as a mission statement. It could be, like, it's fine. But just writing down the goals of everyone. And there is no right or wrong answer in this. If the drummer wants to play in front of 1,000 people, but the guitar player wants to make $20 next week, like, that's fine. They're both right. But making a list or something to guide the band so that you can always come back to and post it up in your rehearsal space so that everyone knows where you're going. A lot of times in bands and playing music, we are so focused on the journey and how to get there and the process because it's so fun. And it is. Like, writing an album is fun. Hanging out in the studio is a blast. Rehearsals are fun. We do this because we love it, of course. But you need goals. You need to know where you're going. And everybody needs to know that, so that there's a clear destination and we're not just doing it to do. So first thing, make a goals list, a mission statement, some kind of directional thing that has everyone's things listed out. What are we trying to achieve? Because it will keep you focused on where you're going. And on top of that, you'll be surprised. Sometimes I've been in bands where, like, the bass player wants to achieve something and, it's been his goal for 2 months and nobody knew. And now that we know, it's like, oh, well, that's easy. Like, we could do that tomorrow. And checking these goals off, it feels good to be able to check them off, and it keeps you motivated. So make a goals list, a mission statement, something that can be posted that has everybody in the group's intent, where they're wanting to go, what the destination is. That way the focus can shift from just the journey to where we're heading and keeps everybody on the same track. Number 2, this is a big one. A contract. Now, this doesn't mean you have to go talk to Miss Crystal at Top Music Attorney, although I would advise it. You guys know how I feel about music attorneys. But you need something in the band that's an agreement. And I know, like, a lot of people are going to dog this point and go, like, you shouldn't do this. Come on, you should, you're a bunch of teenagers this way. It doesn't matter. It's about protection. It's about protecting each person in the band. It's about knowing what's expected of everybody. So everything is very clear. We know what's expected of each other. We know what the splits are, who's responsible for what. It keeps accountability because if somebody's slacking, we can see that. And it just clearly states what this band is about. Another thing that a contract will do is over time bands change. You know, the lead singer has a kid, finances become more important in his life, but the drummer is still a drummer. So things change over time. Another good thing about a contract is the contract won't. It stays consistent. And so if 2 years from now things have started to shift, we still have the contract that we can look back at and say, well, this is where we were. This is the goal. This is how it started. This is the intent of the band. So what kind of things, and again, it doesn't have to be some elaborate thing. You can write it down on a piece of paper, have everybody sign it. It's better if you have it notarized, but you can do that at UPS for $10. Or you can go, if you got a bank account, your bank usually will notarize for free. But everybody in the band should at least sign it, and you can just write it out. And so here's a couple things that I would put in any band agreement. And if you don't want to call it a contract, if that's too legal for you, make it an agreement. Just say band agreement. A couple things though. Financial breakdowns. Who's paying what? What expenses? If we got a band room rehearsal space, is everybody splitting that evenly? Or you know, does the bass player have a great job and he's said he's going to foot the bill for that, but the guitar player's going to cover the, you know, the van? So financial breakdowns. Who's paying for what? The rent split, if you have a rehearsal space, are we all splitting this even? If so, if we are, then we need to say that and what that split is. I would put in each person's gear responsibilities. You know, if the drummer's responsible for all the drum stuff, or if the bass player's responsible for the bass stuff. I know a lot of bands, when I was coming up, would use a fund. They would put part of the money of their payout when they perform into like a pot, and then if you needed drum heads, it came out of that. If you needed to get strings, it came out of that type thing. But if that's what you're doing, that's fine. There's no right answer here. It's just listing out what the responsibilities are and how these things break down, so everybody's protected, everybody's on the same page. So a rent split, each person's gear responsibilities. If they're paying for their own stuff, just put paying their own stuff. Your payment split for your live shows, your merch, your streaming, any income that band makes, any dollar that comes into that band, how does it get split up? Is it split evenly? Is a portion of it put into a pot and then the rest is split to the band? These type things need to be spelled out so that everybody knows where you stand. You can also put in like your roles and responsibility. If one person's in charge of marketing, then let's put that in the contract that, hey, lead singer is in charge of marketing the band, and, you know, the bass player is in charge of booking the band, and, you know, the guitar player is in charge of social media. Just to list these things out. You don't have to get super detailed. It can literally be just what I said. Like, it's that simple, but we need to get them on paper. A writing credit breakdown. This one comes into play later because in the beginning when you write songs, everybody usually just goes, oh, we split everything evenly. But when that evenly starts becoming millions of dollars and the bass player didn't write anything, the guitar player wrote everything, you know, the guitar player is going to feel entitled a lot of times to that split of the song because you're talking about millions of dollars. And it's understandable. The hope, of course, is to always split things evenly and everybody does their own part. But also, if you're a solo artist, then you need contracts with, you know, people you hire. If you're going to play with the same people over and over, like, but it's your band, you're going to want that listed out. Like, hey, I have writing credit for everything. And the final one, and this one I would do on a good day. It's a beautiful day outside right now. If you're having a good day, everybody's hanging out at the rehearsal space, enjoying each other's company, this is where you add this one, and that's the breakup or the dissolution, or not dissolution, dissolvement, which I don't think is a word. Anyway. The breakup of the band. If the band were to break up, no band starts intending to break up. No marriage starts intending for divorce. But we get there, sometimes things happen and they don't work and you need to move on. So when that happens, you need an agreement amongst the members that, like, this is how things are going to break down. If we break up, if it's one person's fault, we blame him and set his car on fire. I don't know. However you want to do it. But just something that says, if there's a breakup, equipment breaks down this way, any money that's left in the pot gets split this way. These type things. Again, it can be on a piece of paper. Just write it down. Get everybody to sign it. Notarizing is better. Going to a lawyer is even better. If you want to hit Miss Crystal up at Delgado, go right ahead. They have plenty of ways to do that. I looked on their site today. But contracts are very important. So definitely have a contract. Definitely write down your group goals, your intent, where you're heading. And now let's go to the last one. But first, we have a sponsor. Past Dave, tell us about Fume. Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to break in real quick and tell you about our sponsor, Fume. Fume is this wonderful product that's helping you create good habits. If you're like me, you got a ton of bad habits, you need some good ones. Well, here's a great place to start. So you've probably seen this around, and this is the Fume. Basically, it's flavored cores that you load in, and you can control the strength of the flavor by the adjustment here. So a lot of air, a little bit of air. But the great thing is that's all it is. It's just air. It's not a vape. It's not any other kind of device that pumps chemicals into your body. This is just air blowing across a flavored core. They've got great flavors. Like, they just launched Peach Blush. Oh, if you like peach, this is for you. They've also got, where is it? They have a ton of flavors. I mean, as you can see, this isn't even all of them. They've got this new retro sweets pack. So like the cinnamon hearts candy that like the spicy cinnamon heart you would get at Valentine's Day, tastes just like it. And the great thing is, it's also a fidget. So if you have a hand habit, this is for you. It clicks in and out, so you can click it. It also grinds when you spin it, so it gives you something to mess with if you have a hand habit that you're trying to break. They also are putting out these tips now that are like a silicone tip, so you can chew on it if you want. If you're like a cigar smokers, chew on the tips. These are made for that. So swing by, check out tryfume.com/David98211. That's David98211. Hit that at checkout. You're going to get 10% off. Check out Fume, man. It's a cool product, and it's great for like when you're in the studio. You can't have a lot of smoke and things in the air because of the equipment. Or you're in your rehearsal space and, you're trying to be respectful of everybody around. This is a great thing to have laying on your amp right at the ready or in your pocket, and makes an awesome guitar slide. I'll do a video on that later. Definitely check out tryfume.com/David98211. Get 10% off your first order at the checkout. Thanks to Fume for all the love they've been showing us, and definitely give them a shot. Let me know what you think. Later. Thank you, Past Dave. That was fascinating. I know what he said. I've seen it. I'm the one that said it. That was just me then. This is me now, though. I'm not then. I'm now. You got it. The third thing. This one's a big one as well, but not as important. Videotape your rehearsals. I used to have a football coach that would say the eye in the sky don't lie. And he's right. Videotaping your rehearsals is vital. is so vital. We've all been in rehearsal where we're just kind of jamming around. The guitar player starts playing something and it's like, oh, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard. And you jam on it for 10 minutes and then you stop and everybody goes, oh my God, that was amazing. Can you believe that? Where did you play it again? And then he goes, I don't remember it. Because he changed parts 7 times in it. And, you know, so he plays something similar, but it's never as good as it was. Videotaping rehearsals takes care of that. You can look back at the tape. And the way you practice is the way you perform. Period. Full stop. So being able to look at your rehearsals and say, like, I did this, I did that, could have done this better. Vital, vital, vital. It makes you way better. You pick up on little tendencies that you have on stage that maybe you don't want. Especially if you're a solo artist. If you're a solo artist, you should be running 3 or 4 cameras if you can. Turn every phone on in the room on you and record from all angles so you can see what you're doing. It really shows a better way to perform, and you'll see it because you're a performer, and so you'll see we've all been to shows and went like, oh, that was terrible. They didn't engage with the crowd, or, you know, the guitar player walked over to the singer and she ignored him. Like, we all can point them out. Well, just do the same thing to yourself. Now, the key to videotaping your rehearsals is you have to watch it. Watch the video back. Don't shoot a 4-hour rehearsal, of course. Break it up a little bit, but you have to watch it. Skim through. Check out your performances on select songs and see, did I look like a rock star? That's what you're going for. And then make the adjustments. So yeah, these 3 things can change your band overnight. I'm telling you, it gives you a peace of mind with the contract. Everybody knows they're protected. Everybody knows what their responsibilities are. There's no more questioning. There's no more backbiting. You'll see a weight lift off the band. I promise you. Everyone will kind of be more at ease because you know you handled some business. Videotaping rehearsals, of course, everyone can see their performance. They can see what they've done, and they can make the adjustments. Writing a goals list and posting it somewhere where everyone can see it, again, will change the entire attitude in the room because everybody has that reminder. They can all see it as you're rehearsing, and you've all agreed on it. You've all signed off on it. And as you add new goals, add it to the list. Don't just go, well, those are the goals and that's it. Add new stuff all the time. Be constantly refreshing that list. If you achieve something, scratch it out. Don't erase it because you still want to be able to look back and go like, oh man, remember that was a goal and we did it. But at the same time, add to it, scratch a line through it so you know, check off, we accomplished that, and now we're on to the next one. I promise you, these 3 things will make your band a better band. It'll make you a better performer. It'll change the atmosphere in the room, and you can do them all tonight, and it doesn't cost you any money whatsoever. I hope these things help. We are doing more of this. If you would like a personal breakdown or rehearsal critique, over 20 years in the entertainment industry, plenty of performance critiques. If you're giving, presentations at work, if you're having to do speaking at work and you want to be a better public speaker, or you want to perform better on your solo gigs, reach out. Link will be in the description. Shoot us an email, and for a very low price, we can get you in and start doing one-on-one coaching to make you a better on-stage performer, make your band better. I guarantee you'll do a lot better. You'll be a better speaker at work. You'll get that promotion you were wanting. And then the girl will want you because now you have all the money, and you'll have the Ferrari in the corner office, and the girl and your boss will hate you, but it doesn't matter because he's embezzling money, and then he's going to get fired and you'll get his job. All of that will happen if you just shoot us an email. Not really. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you got anything on this video, hit the like and subscribe. Subscribing really helps us a lot. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to give a guitar away when we get there. We got a move coming up, new studio, new everything. We're going to kind of relaunch the brand a little bit here in a couple months, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you have any tips, things that you could do, that people could do to make their bands better, drop them in the comments. If you want to get in on that coaching session, one-on-one coaching, shoot us an email. Links down below. See you guys next time. Later.